Hi, thanks for joining. My name is Bradford W. Tilden, and this is crystalmusichealing.com. I am going to talk to you today about the basic principles of sound healing. Sound healing, along with crystal healing, is a vibrationally based healing modality, which means that it involves the different frequencies and wavelengths of energy vibrations, in this case audible vibrations, and in the way that they interact with your physical body and your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body and energetic bodies. Sound healing is by far the most tangibly powerful and physically perceivable of the subtle energy modalities, by which I mean crystal healing is very effective, but you don't necessarily actually feel it. But if you're going into a loud dance club and they're thumping that bass, you feel it in here. So that's what I mean by you can physically experience the results and the effects of sound healing a lot more readily than Reiki energy, white time energy, or even crystal healing energy. Not to say that those modalities are less effective, it's just that if you're uncertain about certain things, about the realities of these things, just remember that even as you speak, you can feel your own voice vibrating. So what happens if you harness the power through knowledge, experience, and training, harness the knowledge and the power of sound to create absolute tangible change in your life and to shift your physical health and your conscious reality. So these are the sort of the high-end goals of sound healing. But before we can get into those, you need to understand the basic principles. So sound energy is produced when air molecules are compressed, and sound travels as anything else in a waveform. And the waveforms, you can imagine an ocean and the waves in the ocean. And if you ever watch waves interact, sound waves interact the same way. It's called the study of wave acoustics. And I'm not going to get too technical, but just imagine a wave rolling and it's about to crest, and another wave rolling and it crests, and they crest at the same time. Now the force and the energy between those two waves creates a wave, a single wave that is twice as strong and twice as high as those individual waves just rolling along. Okay? And that's sort of amplification. And this is important when we get deeper into this, and you'll see why and actually feel why down the road. So another scenario, here comes a wave and it's going into its dip, its trough. I can never pronounce that word, trough. So anyway, here's a trough and here's a trough. And when they both hit, they actually create a deeper trough. Okay, so now you have an amplification and a cancellation, or not a cancellation, a dampering, a muting, okay? So two scenarios. You can either be more intense or less intense, right? You're feeling the dynamics of this already. So now here's the third and interesting scenario. One wave comes along, another wave comes along, and they're opposite. What happens? Silence. They flatten each other out. They cancel each other out. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. There is a highway in Germany that instead of doing the whole expensive build the walls, the sound barriers that you see along highways made of wood, made of cement, whatever those sound barriers, they actually aligned the highway with microphones and little computer things, and the microphone would take in the sound of the cars and it would invert the wavelength so that when the sound of the cars was projected back into the air at the opposite end, they would create silence. So they actually used sound to mitigate the sound pollution on the highway. That's pretty cool. So that's an exterior, wow, out this world, very practical, real exploration of sound and the effects of it. So, okay, back to topic. So how sound healing affects the body. I would like to remind you that all sound that humans produce, all emotions that humans express are based and expressed through sound. There's laughter, there's tears, there's crying, there's grief, there's screaming, there's yelling, there's audible relief. So any emotions that we experience are supposed to be expressed through sound. And that's what emotion is. It's energy in motion, and energy in motion produces sound. So think about it. When you're at work and you're really frustrated and you want to scream, but you can't, and you hold it in. So what happens to that that blocked energy? Well, you stick it in your back or your shoulder, and by the end of the work week you have so much stress that you packed on top of you, you're in physical pain. So you go to a massage therapist, you go to an acupuncturist, you take some pills. We all have our own solutions, but what if you could use your voice or sound healing instruments to release that stress? Or even better, what if you took a break from work, went into the bathroom, cupped your hand over your mouth and screamed into your mouth, and you release that energy? You know, those damn it dolls, you know, you got the dolls and you bang them or you scream or hit in your pillow. It's therapy, because what you're doing is you're expressing the emotion of anger through sound. Now, personally, I've had some really intense massage sessions where I had what we call cathartic releases. And truthfully, if you're going to explore sound healing and crystal healing and all these subtle energy modalities to release, to create emotional healing or spiritual expansion, you'll come across these moments where you just let go and you just cry and you express grief, maybe from even a past life. Or in my case, the two most powerful cathartic moments were actually laughter. I started laughing hysterically because laughter and joy is what I suppressed in here. Very interesting. For me, and for you, I hope. Another tidbit, laughter is the highest vibrational sound a human can produce. It actually can thwart off negative energies and used as a protection. And full body laughter, I'm talking the diaphragmatic, like, you know, clench your stomach, can't breathe, cripple on the floor laughter. What it's doing is it's literally physically wringing out all that stagnant breath that you lock inside you because you don't breathe fully, and all those emotions and thoughts that just like are harbored and nested that you might not even be aware of. It literally squeezes them out like you're wringing out a wet towel. And after you laugh, how do you feel? Pretty good. So, as a visual that I like to teach all my students, think of the body as a chain link fence, and think of leaves that are fallen in autumn, and the leaves are stuck on the fence. And so what's one way to, like, you know, get the leaves off the fence? Well, you rattle it, right? With a vibration, or a strong gust of wind comes along and actually blows them through and clears it. So that's kind of how I see sound healing when it's affecting the physical body. It's like the body's energy meridians and structure, molecular and, you know, cellular structure, it literally shakes it and cleans it off like you're whacking a blanket with a broom or a rug with a broom. You know, it's the vibrations are cleaning it, vibrations. And, you know, actually drums and percussive instruments are a big part of sound healing. You know, when you're sitting in a group and someone's coming around with a big drum, it's actually just like cleansing and shaking the stuff out of you. So that's basically, we covered the principle of wave acoustics, the cancellation, the amplification, and the sort of muting effect. That's going to come important physically as you experience the interaction of your body with the sound waves that either you're producing or the instruments that you use, so that you can capitalize upon and direct and intend to focus on certain areas of the body, because different areas of the body kind of vibrate with different frequencies. And each person has a vibrational matrix, sort of, I call it the vibrational blueprint or fingerprint, which changes daily, but we all have a core vibration, and all of our chakras typically resonate with a particular pitch as well. But we'll go into that at another time. Again, this is just a basic overview of sound healing, and I hope you got something out of it. Now, please go to my website, sign up to get access to exclusive content, and keep a lookout for more blogs and videos about sound healing and crystal healing and my music. And please visit our Facebook page, like it, and start leaving comments of your experiences. Thanks. Have a good one. Namaste.